Number 1. Stalker takes a lot of inspiration from a 1972 book entitled Roadside Picnic. Another interesting thing of note is the Stalker movie from 1979 that also shares a lot of the same values. If anybody ever talks about where Stalker comes from, it is one of these three things are usually involved. Whether or not they are a direct influence is another matter. Number 2, if you've ever played any mods, you will notice a lot of cut content. There were two such factions that were cut, Sin and Last Day. Number 3, Olev Yavorsky remembers telling fans Stalker would be the ultimate game of all time. Number 4, prior to the release in 2007, the team visited in 2001 the exclusion zone. Number 5, Stalker's original release date was 2003. Number 6, after terrible management practices from GSC, developers split to make 4A games and Vostok games. Number 7, Stalker 2 was originally supposed to be released in 2012. It was also supposed to use a new version of GSC's game engine X-Ray, known as X-Ray 2.0. Before Shadow of Chernobyl, Stalker was meant to have another concept entirely under the name Oblivion Lost. Number 9. The original Stalker 2 was supposed to have Strelok as a main character. And instead of having multiple different areas with loading screens, one single large area. Number 10. There was an earlier version of Sidorovich referred to as Toad. Number 11. Viktor Marchevsky created sketches of what an early intro was supposed to look like. He had a nickname, Lukash, which was later given to the Freedom Leader in the game. Number 12. The lamp in Sidorovich's bunker is actually a helmet. Number 13. Modding can be traced back to 2005 when build 2212 was leaked. Number 14. The variety of builds is mostly due to a person named Zloxitron, who published them on Gaminator. Number 15. Grigorovich, the founder of GSC Game World, founded it at 17 years old, and he made Stalker at 22. Thanks to the success of Stalker, Grigorovich became the youngest millionaire in Ukraine, and by 2010, he was the 150th richest person in the country. He spent the money on a Ferrari and a lot of Pepsi. Number 16. The truck cemetery location you see a lot is not cut content, but fan-made. Number 17. A lot of major mods, such as Anomaly, Gamma, Call of Misery, and so forth, have been derivatives of another mod named Call of Chernobyl, which was a free-play mod. Grigorovich allegedly said that he drinks Pepsi in the morning instead of coffee, and apparently so does everyone else in the GSC office. That famous render you see all the time is actually from 2003 or 2004. Number 20. Snorks are a fan-made concept from a contest organized by GSC before the release of Shadow of Chernobyl, where fans could design a mutant that could be introduced into the game. The developers planned for NPCs to be able to trade, and for some reason, this meant that there had to be a trader at every location where the NPCs were, otherwise the game would crash. This led to Sidorovich being in a lot of places until it was fixed in 2006. Number 22. When you give a weapon to an NPC, you don't have to give them ammo. For an NPC to decide to have a weapon, it has to be better than their current one. There are no women in the original Stalker games. It was a deliberate choice. The main reason was because of time constraints. In the original trilogy, rubles were the currency, but in Stalker 2, they're now something else. In Shadow of Chernobyl, Pripyat was actually located south of the power plant, but in Call of Pripyat, it's northwest, just like it is in real life. There was supposed to be a TV series based on the Roadside Picnic novel, but it was cancelled. Artifacts do not spawn whenever you detect them, but they're predetermined. If you take an artifact from an anomaly, you must spend a total of 2 in-game days in this location for it to appear again. Number 30. Because of how the story works out, Sidorovich does not directly make contact with S.T.A.L.K.E.R, therefore, he doesn't know who he is in Shadow of Chernobyl. However, Sakharov is another story. It was said that S.T.A.L.K.'s face was covered in bandages, so that might be why he doesn't recognize him. S.T.A.L.K.E.R didn't have to kill S.T.A.L.K.E.R. He was just supposed to stop him. Before the abandoned car park in Cordon, the first level where you fight enemies, there was actually supposed to be a factory, but it was cut. There were quite a number of fan movies and projects about Stalker. Difficulty has always been a troubled part of Stalker games, with the majority thinking that the higher the difficulty, the easier it is. The truth is, you actually deal less damage whenever you play with higher difficulties. The endurance artifacts in Shadow of Chernobyl don't spawn at night, they are only visible at night. Number 37. The zone expands. Number 38. The Rostok factory in Kiev was partially abandoned, but the administration building was rented by GSC in 2002. This is where the name of the Rostok level comes from. The devs originally wanted to recreate it, but that idea was abandoned, and it became what we now know today. Number 39. 1 in-game minute is 6 seconds, so 1 in-game hour is 6 minutes. Number 40. The human detector on the PDA goes up to 50 meters. Number 41. Ordinary corpses disappear after 36 in-game hours, but only if you are far away. Unique corpses don't disappear at all. The TVs that you see in Shadow of Chernobyl have a clip. This clip is from one of the early builds of the game, from 2003. Darkscape is as large as it is because it was originally meant for vehicles. Strider mentions that a few years of his life disappeared when their brainwashing only took place a year earlier. Number 45. The largest battle in Stalker is actually Operation Monolith, which took place in 2012. The Monolith were defending the CNPP, and the military were attacking. By 2009, there were about 1 to 300 Stalkers present in the zone. In Shadow of Chernobyl, the ranking shows around 600, but it doesn't include Monolithians, of which there are around 350. There are only 2 unique guitar tracks that can be played by bandits. Remember Oleg Yavorsky, the PR head? He played in the Fire Lake Band and recorded the first few songs for the game in 2005, which were implemented in the pre-release builds. Back whenever the game was still Oblivion Lost in 2003, Sin was involved in the storyline. The player would be able to meet Sin at the army warehouses, where he would look for secret documents, and Sin would treat him as a sort of chosen one. The player could cooperate with Sin in order to obtain information. Number 50. The concepts of both Sin and Monolith factions. were developed at the same time. Sin was just scrapped. Stay Out, an unrelated game, has a TV in one of the early levels where it constantly loops the Stalker movie. A pseudo-giant can weigh up to 2 tons and stand 2 meters tall. Have you ever wanted Stalker to be multiplayer, truly multiplayer? There's a mod being developed referred to as Ray of Hope, but it's been in development hell for quite some time. Strelok was supposed to have an actual name, Pavel Konstantinovich Streletsky, but that was in the cancelled Stalker 2 from 2011. It was also considered that his real name would be Anton Chernov in plot documents from Oblivion Lost. Number 55. In Shadow of Chernobyl, emissions happened rarely, approximately every 2 months. This was also the case before Clear Sky. In Clear Sky, there is only one mercenary friendly to one freedomer, Hog and Kostyan. There's plenty of suits in the game that you can find. For example, a merc suit in the Rookie Village. Lemansk's antenna is based on Duga, but the city's architecture is directly based on a Kiev neighborhood. Number 59. Strelok, Marked 1, and Messer are 3 different people, but they are the same. Number 60. The old Stalker 2 had 2 separate storylines written during the development by 2 different devs. Number 61. The original voice actor for the Bandits is not going to be reprising his role. Number 62. Duty and Freedom actually have ceasefires on many different occasions, the most famous one being Yanov Station in Call of Pripyat. Number 63. The name Messer means knife in German, because Sidorovich couldn't give Messer anything better than a knife. That's what he called him, or rather, Toad. Number 64. The game was supposed to take place in Crimea. Number 65. Flesh were actually supposed to be able to talk, but that idea was scrapped. It has since then showed up in some mods. Number 66. Sidorovich was actually voiced by 2 different people. Number 67. Emissions are one thing, and psi emissions are another. Psi emissions are generated by the Scorcher or Miracle Machine, and Zombify emissions, or blowouts, are from the Noosphere. Number 68. Degutярov is actually born in Pripyat. Number 69. The first blowout from 2006 caused the zone to grow. There is no record of any subsequent ones causing the expansion. Number 70. If you try to eat directly from the inventory of a dead enemy, the game will crash. Number 71. Sleep only appeared in Call of Pripyat. Number 72. Chimeras were actually supposed to walk on 2 legs in build 2205 from 2005. Number 73. Stalker has around 90 official licensed books. Number 74. Hunger was cut from Clear Sky. Number 75. The iron sights from pistols were removed in Clear Sky, but re-implemented in Call of Pripyat. Number 76. Loners and free stalkers are actually the same thing. Number 77. The term ecologist is only used in Shadow of Chernobyl. Number 78. You can't join factions in Shadow of Chernobyl. Technically, you can join Freedom due to a bug. Number 79. Shadow of Chernobyl does not have a repair mechanic. Number 80. The only confirmed entrance to the zone is the Cordon. It's mentioned that most stalkers start their journey there, and it's only from there that you can go to other places. Number 81. The Wish Granter isn't real, it's just illusion. Number 82. Duty works with scientists, and even punishes those who attack them. Number 83. There aren't any Clear Sky members visible during the Clear Sky ending cutscene. Number 84. Before Stalker Clear Sky was known as Clear Sky, It was called Anarchy Cell. Number 85. The TOS-34 was never in Shadow of Chernobyl. It was cut from the game prior to release. Number 86. Clear Sky starts on September 10th, 2011, and Shadow of Chernobyl starts on May 1st, 2012. Number 87. Besides Stalker Mobile, there was a port for Android phones named Project Stalker. Number 88. Chernobyl 2 is confirmed to be a playable location in Stalker 2. Number 89. In the outskirts hideout on Call of Pripyat, you can find a PKM. Number 90. There was a shotgun in Shadow of Chernobyl that had a gravite lodged in its barrel for extra range, but that's the only instance of artifacts being used to modify weapons. Number 91. In Clear Sky, the weapons are very inaccurate, so that you'd use the upgrade system. Number 92. The zombies are not just zombies. They talk and have memories. Number 93. Stalker 2 was supposed to have a Russian dub, but that was cancelled. Number 94. The acronym Stalker was supposed to mean something, but it was only documented once, and it only works in Russian, so the idea was abandoned. Number 95. It was planned that Karen would have been revealed to be the founder of Monolith. Number 96. The leather jacket isn't available in Call of Pripyat, but it is in Clear Sky. Number 97. Fallout 2 partially inspired Stalker. For example, the Gauss rifle, which is based on Fallout 2's. Number 98. Strelok's facial model is actually based off of Australian actor Vincent Stone in Call of Pripyat and Shadow of Chernobyl's cutscenes. There are actually two entrances in a cordon from Clear Sky. Whenever you first come into the cordon, you can turn around and leave, and come back from the northeast. Number 100. There were a variety of cut mutants, such as cats, Islams, Burers from Shadow of Chernobyl and Clear Sky, as well as chimeras, which were also cut from Shadow of Chernobyl and Clear Sky. Originally, there was a monolith base in the Dark Valley.
Ну, немного не в тему, но вспомнил вот.